father I am.
Horrible.
And I'm gonna tell you something else.
And it's not about
Your
that.
Honor. I'm gonna tell you something else.
Being a man and stepping up to the
like
plate.
her.
I'm gonna let you all run your own case, see what kind of results you get after this, because I got the real one. So go ahead.
That's why I say it's not an issue of paternity. He lies, she lies, but that ain't lying. That ain't lying. The DNA test ain't lying. Everything matches up to what I'm saying. I don't have no reason to lie on this.
They had broken up. In 2 weeks, she was gone, and
I was
her
already
and my
pregnant,
son,
Your Honor. I was already
and the
pregnant.
next week she came back, Your Honor, and now they're telling me that she was pregnant.
Miss Hatcher just dropped a bombshell, admitting to having entanglements with not one, not two, but 3 men around the time her son Josiah was on his way to the world. She wants to clear the air and not let her past choices weigh down her son. And oh boy, you won't believe what comes next.
Ms. Hatcher, confess that at the time you conceived your 2-year-old son, Josiah, you had sexual relations with 3 men. Now, you don't want your son to suffer for your mistakes. You've requested paternity testing on all 3 men.
Yes, Your Honor.
So here's Mr. Scott, thinking he's possibly the only dad in the picture until, surprise, Miss Hatcher throws a curveball about needing a DNA test during a heated spat. This revelation has trust and deception written all over it. Wait till you see how Mr. Scott handles this news.
You claim Ms. Hatcher led you to believe you were the only potential father of this child until she told you in anger that she needed a DNA test.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just when things couldn't get more soap opera-esque, they pull out a calendar in court. Each man's days marked in a different shade. They're dissecting the conception window like it's a crime scene. You'll want to stick around for the reactions to this color-coded drama.
As we see here on the calendar, yellow represents you. For Mr. Blake, that's represented in the blue. We're looking at the window of conception.
Okay.
Mr. Sneed is in green.
Cue the fireworks. Mr. Scott isn't just throwing shade. He's throwing the whole tree, questioning Miss Hatcher's choices, pretty disrespectfully. The judge isn't having any of it, though, and puts him in his place. Applause from the audience included. Strap in, because the emotional roller coaster's just picking up speed.
You say you had sex with him on the 23rd of December.
One time.
Did you use protection?
No, we did not.
How much did he pay?
Excuse me, Mr. Scott. You're gonna be respectful in this courtroom.
This is him. He is a disrespectful man. He is very ignorant to me and my son. Recently, he knows that we don't have a working refrigerator and comes over to my house, nasty attitude that he has.
Mr. Scott spills his guts about why he's got a mountain of doubt over being Josiah's dad. From signing birth certificates to changing diapers, he thought he was in the clear until the deep word DNA test popped up. The tension is thick, and you'll want to see how the judge slices through it next.
I'm doubtful because she said out of her own mouth, DNA test. I didn't know nothing about her situation. When she came and told me she was pregnant, I believed her because she's a woman who knows her body, who knows what she does.
So when the baby was born, were you in the hospital?
I was there for him.
And did you sign the birth certificate?
Yes, I did. I have it right here. Signed the birth certificate.
Jerome, hand me that birth certificate.
I've been buying diapers. I've been buying playpens.
Talk about a plot twist. The debate heats up with Mr. Scott and Miss Hatcher, going head-to-head over who said what about Josiah's paternity. It's like watching a tennis match where every serve is a scandalous revelation. Keep watching. The next serve is a doozy.
And then after I brought my son home, after having a C-section, came in the house and he said, my girlfriend said Josiah might not be mine. And Josiah wasn't home 2 days yet.
Your Honor, do you know that this is the second lady, Your Honor, that has come to me, told me that I am the father of her child. Signed the birth certificate. 99% wasn't mine.
Enter Mr. Blake with a foggy memory of a hotel room and some holiday cheer, hinting that Josiah might just be his after all. Alcohol and memory lapses make for a great story, don't they? But the truth is just a sip away, and you'll want to see how this part of the puzzle fits.
Did you sleep with Miss Hatcher on the 26th of December? That's the day after Christmas. You should remember that.
We got a hotel room that night. Billy equipped is mine. I don't have a problem taking care of mine.
Was it sex on that day?
We had a little alcohol, but I think so, Your Honor.
Do you remember whether or not you two used protection when you...
Yes, I do. Well, first time we did use protection, and then the second time we didn't.
Your Honor, it wasn't no second time.
Now it's getting juicy. The courtroom turns into a battleground of words and accusations as everyone tries to defend their honor. Miss Hatcher and Mr. Scott aren't holding back, and neither is the judge. Don't touch that dial. The truth bomb is about to drop.
Call them.
You don't take care of your kids, and you know you don't. You don't pay child support.
Call them and ask them what they did, and ask them what kind of father I am. And I'm gonna tell you something else.
And it's not about
Your
that.
Honor, I'm gonna tell you something else.
Being a man and stepping up to the
like
plate.
her.
I'm gonna let you all run your own case, see what kind of results you get after this, because I got the real one. So go ahead.
Mr. Scott takes a moment to pour his heart out, promising he's Dad of the Year material if Josiah turns out to be his. It's a touching monologue that might just bring a tear to your eye, or at least make you believe in his fatherly devotion. The verdict's coming up, and it's a real tearjerker.
And we find out who his father is. Whether it is me, I want to know, because if he's mine, I want to be with him. I will give my last for my kids, and if that boy is mine, he gonna know he got love. When I'm around him, you best believe there's no negativity. negativity in his life. If I feel like we gotta yell, I will leave. I'm not finna do anything around that boy.
And here it is, the moment of truth. Drum roll, please.
In the case of Hatcher v. Scott Blake Sneed pertaining to whether Mr. Blake or Mr. Scott is the biological father of 2-year-old Josiah Scott, when it comes to Mr. Blake, you are not the father.
I'm sorry.
Can you handle what's coming next? Miss Rayford insists that Mr. Freeman's shifty truth-telling tossed her right into a romantic mess. This entanglement bore them a son, Terry, who Mr. Freeman now refuses to recognize. She's heated about Mr. Freeman first begging for a child, then ditching her to reunite with his fiancée, Ms. Triplett. Stick around because Mr. Freeman's clapback is priceless.
Say Mr. Freeman's inability to be honest has landed in the middle of a love triangle that produced 8-month-old son, Terry, whom he now denies. That after begging you to have his child, Mr. Freeman abruptly left your relationship, returned to his fiancée, and started denying your baby.
Yes, it is.
Hold on to your popcorn, this gets good. Mr. Freeman paints his stint with Ms. Rayford as a mere fling, claiming she's now haunting him and his fiancée with her obsession. He strongly doubts he's the father of Terry, alleging Ms. Rayford was not exactly playing solitaire during their fling. Up next, Ms. Rayford fires back, and you won't want to miss it.
You say Ms. Rayford was nothing more than a fling who is obsessed with you and your fiancée, Ms. Triplett. You claim that during your brief time, Rayford, she was sleeping with multiple men. Is no way you are her son's father. Is
correct, Your Honor.
Just when you think it can't escalate, oh, it does. The judge grills Mr. Freeman on what he's done for baby Terry, and Ms. Rayford does not hold back, calling him a ghost dad. The crowd's reaction is everything as the courtroom drama escalates. Buckle up because the room's about to explode.
What has Mr. Freeman done for him?
Mr. Freeman hasn't done nothing. He has been a dad ever since he got Miss Triplett.
Hold on, first of all,
Ladies, that erupted from 0 to 100 in less than 1 second.
The drama meter is off the charts. Ms. Rayford demands Mr. Freeman to recognize his son and pushes for a name change to Freeman. Tempers flare as Ms. Rayford and Ms. Triplett exchange spicy words, prompting the judge to step in. What's coming up is even juicier.
I want the world to know today that this is his son, so he could step up and be the man. First child, Terry Michelle Rayford, name needs to be changed to Freeman. You need to grow up and be a man. Don't let this woman dictate to you.
You'll want to lean in for this one. Ms. Rayford is adamant that Mr. Freeman knows he's Terry's dad and scolds him for shirking his responsibilities. Their heated debate sheds light on Mr. Freeman's previous acknowledgments at the hospital. The chaos climbs as the judge tries to simmer things down next.
Just be there for your son. You like to clown? Your son will love. Play with him and not me. It's not an issue of paternity. It's an issue of him being responsible.
And I'm letting you kind of scream it out because I can see how frustrated you are.
I am. Bring it on down.
I want to hear from Mr. Freeman. Miss Rayford has made some very strong accusations about being irresponsible to this child.
Twist alert. Contrary to her previous claims, Ms. Rayford admits Mr. Freeman did try to bring stuff over for Terry, showing a sliver of responsibility amidst the chaos. This partial concession mixes up the narrative as the courtroom buzzes with reactions. And guess what? It only gets crazier from here.
Are you referring to that dresser thing?
Nah, he referring to the stuff that he bought with Pampers, clothes, and stuff like that. Girl, stop playing.
So you know every move that man make, huh? Oh, you jealous. You wish that was your...
How can I be jealous?
Miss Ray, the only thing I refused was on this particular day saying that he had came by and he had bought a few items for the baby.
The plot thickens substantially here. Mr. Freeman confesses his main reason for attending the hearing is to refute his fatherhood of Terry. Ms. Rayford lays out their rocky romance timeline, sparking more gasps and murmurs from the audience. The narrative deepens, and you'll be glued to what happens next.
I'm here today to prove that I'm not Trina's baby daddy. Me and Trina was together. It was only just a fling. Trina was still having sex with multiple guys. She's obsessed with me.
You were still having sex with other people.
No, it's not true. We met in December. We met on a dating site.
A dating site.
And Miss Triplett, I'm gonna ask while she's testifying, just keep your little talking. Just stop.
Yes, ma'am.
Gear up for more twists. Miss Rayford comes clean about her other liaisons during her time with Mr. Freeman, even mentioning protective measures with another man. This revelation adds layers to the paternity puzzle and complicates their narrative even further. The story takes a deeper dive as we edge closer to the truth.
We met in December on a dating site. It was New Year's. I wasn't expecting a baby and all these shenanigans. I picked him up and we hung out, brought in New Year's. We had a good time. I came from California to Memphis, 2 men. I probably should have went with the first, but he was the second one. The first in the relationship kind of overlapped. I am mature enough to know that, you know, when you have sex, you wear a condom. And so I did do that with the other guy in January.
You You won't believe your ears here. The discussion veers into the specifics of Ms. Rayford's active love life and Mr. Freeman's contradictory comments about always using protection. As they untangle their past rendezvous, the anticipation for the DNA test results mounts. The courtroom is about to erupt with the next revelations.
Yeah, that's why I say it's not an issue of paternity. He lied, she lied, but that ain't lying. That ain't lying. The DNA test ain't lying. Everything matches up to what I'm saying. I don't have no reason to lie on this man.
As you look at this timeline, is it your testimony you were not intimate with Ms. Rayford between February 9th through the 14th?
Grab your tissues or your popcorn. This is a doozy. The DNA results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Freeman, you are the father.
Buckle up for this roller coaster. The case of Wolf v. of Cottle kicks off with a bang. Ms. Wolf steps up, alleging that her escapade of revenge sex has thrown her relationship with the defendant into chaos, and she's here to prove the paternity of her 3-month-old son to mend the fractures. The judge nods along, confirming the case's focus and setting the stage. Get ready. The courtroom's about to turn into a soap opera scene.
You're in court claiming revenge sex has now put your relationship in jeopardy with the defendant. You say the only way to save the family you were hoping to build is to prove to your fiance that he fathered your 3-month-old son, Zane.
Yes, Your Honor.
You thought soap operas were dramatic? Listen to this. Ms. Wolf admits to having revenge sex with her ex-boyfriend's buddy as a clapback for his cheating scandal. She explains that the whole sordid idea was cooked up by the friend she ended up getting busy with. This affair has twisted her current love life into a pretzel and brought her to court to sort out who the daddy is. Strap in, because the next revelation is a doozy.
Revenge sex means that my ex-boyfriend, Luca, he cheated on me with one of my friends, talking to his friend, which was Andrew. Andrew was like telling me that, you know, we should get back at them. We should have revenge sex. We did. While I was still dating Lucas at the time, was sleeping with Drew also.
Hold on to your popcorn. Things are getting spicy. Ms. Wolf lays out the heart-wrenching tale of betrayal she endured when her then-boyfriend hooked up with one of her friends. Hurt and seeking vengeance, she turned to his friend, which only tangled her love life even further. The judge can barely keep up with the convoluted web of deceit. You'll want to stick around. The plot thickens even more.
We met on a dating site, and I moved in with him about a week after meeting him. 2 weeks in our relationship, I invited my friend to come hang out with me. While I was sleeping, I woke up and I went to the bedroom door. The door was locked, so I kept pounding on the door for them to open it, and I saw my friend's underwear that they had sex, and then I asked them. It was like, yeah, we did have sex. I'm sorry.
No one saw this twist coming. Mr. Chittum enters the courtroom, throwing another layer of chaos into the mix. He confesses that he was the first to flip the loyalty switch by sleeping with Ms. Wolf's friend during their relationship. This bombshell leads to more dirty laundry being aired about ongoing deception and backstabbing. Just when you think it can't get crazier, the next part will have your jaw on the floor.
You were in a relationship with Miss Wolf first.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And you started a sexual relationship?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you all were living together?
That is correct.
And then she said she invited her friend to come, and you and the friend slept together?
That is correct.
So now how to find out that intimate with your friend, Mr. Cottle?
One of my friends texted me.
So then did you confront Ms. Wolf?
Yes.
What did she say?
He was pretty much denying it all.
So you didn't want to tell the truth, Ms. Wolf?
Ready for a curveball? The results of a polygraph test are unveiled, proving Mr. Chittum was truthful about his ongoing fling with Ms. Wolf during her pregnancy. This revelation throws a wrench into the paternity drama, with the audience reacting in a mix of disbelief and amusement. Brace yourself. What's coming next will flip the script.
You met with a certified polygraph expert, and you were asked the following question. Did you have sexual intercourse during her pregnancy with Zane? The lie detector determined you were being truthful.
Yes, that is truthful.
Only up till
I was pregnant, and you knew that, and I never lied about that.
This confession is a game changer. Ms. Wolf is busted for fibbing about cutting ties with Mr. Chittum, despite her claims of loyalty to Mr. Cottle. The judge calls out her dishonesty, emphasizing the tangled web she's woven with her lies. Mr. Cottle feels like a pawn in her game, his sense of betrayal magnified by the courtroom shockers. Fasten your seatbelts. The next bombshell is just around the corner.
Have you ever heard the expression crying wolf?
Yes, I have.
You telling this story. You were saying what he was saying was completely not true. You had Mr. Cottle up here talking about he's a pathological liar. He just showed his phone, and now you admit it. You are come over here and sleep with me.
You are correct, I did.
You're saying he lied. I'm saying you lied too. Both of you lying. Even if you didn't sleep with him that time, I don't think Mr. Cottle appreciates the text messages alone.
You're probably right.
He's out working.
Did anyone see this coming? The envelope with the DNA test results is finally opened.
It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Cottle. Are the biological father.
Get ready for a wild ride. Ms. Beversdorf Beversdorf opens the case against Ms. James to prove that Ms. James's deceased son, Daryl, is the biological father of her son, Dakari. She claims that if she proves paternity, Ms. James should accept Dakari or risk never seeing him again. The statement sets a tense tone for the proceedings. Buckle up, because things are about to get even more heated.
Ms. Beversdorf, you have opened your case against Mrs. James to prove that her deceased son, Daryl, is the biological father of your 4-year-old son, Dakari. That once you prove paternity, Ms. better accept you both or she will never see Dakari again.
Hold on to your seats. Mrs. James expresses doubt about Dakari's paternity, noting her son Daryl's skepticism. She reveals having asked Ms. Beversdorf for a DNA test 3 times, which Ms. Beversdorf allegedly refused, further intensifying the dispute and highlighting the core issue of the case. The tension is building. Just wait for what's next.
You say that your deceased son had constant doubt about the paternity of Dakari, and you know he's not your grandchild. You state that you asked the plaintiff to take a DNA test 3 times, but Ms. Beversdorf refused. You have come to clear your son's name.
You won't believe this twist. Ms. Beversdorf passionately argues that the denial of Dakari's paternity is hurting both her and her son. She expresses a desire for acceptance and love, stressing the emotional toll the situation is taking. This moment highlights the personal stakes involved in the case. Hang tight. The emotional roller coaster is just getting started.
It's the whole denial thing that's affecting my child and me. They don't accept him. They don't accept me. I'm just ready for him. Love. I want it real, not fake. You know what I'm saying? Just feel like that's all family, not just my side. I want it to be genuine. And I just know once I get these test results, it will be genuine and everybody will really know the truth.
Did that just happen? Judge Lake acknowledges Mrs. James's loss of her son and explores her reasons for doubt. Mrs. James discusses the tumultuous relationship between Daryl and Ms. Beversdorf, suggesting that Ms. Beversdorf's behavior contributed to the paternity doubts. This exchange underlines the complexity of personal relationships within the case. You'll be on the edge of your seat for the next part.
I'm sorry for the lost son.
Thank you.
I would like to know, you say the doubts were brought because of Ms. Beversdorf?
Yes, because of the relationship that they beheld in the time that he was with her. They always fighting, breaking up.
Nobody has proof of that, though. I've never been with anybody else.
You haven't been seen with anybody else. You're gone 2 weeks, and I'm like, where's Kayla?
No, I was gone 2 weeks.
Where?
This just got real. Mrs. James details a period when Ms. Beversdorf was absent, which she implies could be suspicious regarding Dakari's paternity. This accusation leads to a heated exchange, illustrating the high emotions and the lack of trust between the parties. Wait until you hear what comes next. It's a doozy.
They had broken up, and 2 weeks she was gone, and
I was already pregnant, Your Honor.
And the next week she came back, Your Honor, and now they're telling me that she was pregnant. And you want me to say, well, okay?
I was already pregnant when me and him split up for the 2 weeks.
Respectfully, how does Ms. James know that?
Because you and him didn't had a fight. She leaves for a couple of weeks, come back. Next thing I know, her and my son sitting in my kitchen telling me she's pregnant.
Talk about a plot twist. The discussion about the birth certificate arises. It's revealed that Daryl did not sign the birth certificate because he was temporarily absent from the hospital, adding a layer of legal uncertainty to Dakari's paternity and identity. The surprises keep coming. Don't miss what happens next.
But if you don't know that that's your child, why are you in the hospital?
Because he loves you.
Why do you do all that if that's not your child?
Did he sign the birth certificate?
No. When the nurse came into the hospital room, he was at home, taking a shower, getting clothes. He only left the hospital for maybe 2.5 hours.
Was the one time they came in with the birth certificate for him to execute?
Yes.
This segment is a bombshell. Mrs. James recounts her efforts to obtain a DNA test after Daryl's death to establish Dakari's entitlement to Social Security benefits, which Ms. Beversdorf reportedly evaded. This moment emphasizes the practical implications of the paternity test beyond emotional and relational aspects. Strap in for the next revelation. It's a big one.
Deny that. If I'm so confident.
Well, why didn't you come and
It doesn't make any sense to me. I wouldn't test when I'm so confident to come on here to prove about my son's father.
Never even been asked.
No.
Your Honor,
I would never deny that. Just like I didn't deny coming out here.
You out here because I told you I was not going to put him on my 401k, and now that my brother has died on my insurance, you got mad because you felt like he needed Daryl's money.
You're not ready for this. The climactic moment occurs as Judge Lake reads the DNA test results.
It has been determined by this court. The percentage of relatedness between Mrs. Jacqueline James and Dakari is 99%. You are related.